Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name's Alex, aka Polymonster, and I'm going to do some more work on my music app, Diig, today. So there's a few small things I need to sort out. The main thing I want to look at is the sign-in screen because it's so fiddly and small to use. This is one of the downsides of using ImGui. It's more of a debug UI, it's more designed for desktop applications. But I'm going to try and improve it, and I've got some ideas about how I might go about doing that. In my last time I was on macOS, I was using the wrong audio device, so I was like, why does my audio sound all like tinny and echoey? So I wasn't using this mic, which is annoying, but I've set it up now, so should be much better. We're going to be back in the world of Xcode. Going to see if I can sort out the iPhone mirroring. Okay, so there's my phone, which it's going to be deploying to. So the credentials are actually stored in Keychain. I was looking and investigating how to get it so I could see those in Password Manager and that I could use them as a shared credential. There's some stuff I still need to do to set that up, but basically what it means is that it will always auto log me in. Even if you clear the cache, the credentials are still in the keychain. So I'm just going to add a little define that can force login, because then I can just enable that. So then we get the login and sign up menu. These ones are okay, I think. This is reasonable size, but these are the ones that are fiddly and small. At this point I went on a mad tangent adding support to my game engine ImGui backend to be able to pass support for different sized fonts and size font ranges. Previously it was a little bit hard coded in terms of what fonts were loaded. It just loaded a font and it added font or some icons, which is kind of enough for like a debug UI basically. But I didn't need to do that, and I spent about an hour fiddling around trying to get it working. In the end, it's a reasonable feature to add to the code base, but I'll explain why, or I later realize why I didn't have to do that. I mean, this is annoying because actually I didn't have to do any of that. And do you know why I did it wrong? Because I just asked Copilot. I was like, how'd you do this? When this set window font scale is already in my code base, I should have checked myself. Because yeah, I'm already doing scaling the font. It's rotting our brains. It is rotting our brains. Okay, bigger. It has gone bigger. I mean, the ability to add different fonts is actually quite useful. I think in that point I was just in denial about the amount of time I'd wasted. I was trying to reconcile that I'd just gone on a wild goose chase. Like I say, the feature is fairly useful, but it was completely unnecessary, and if I'd thought about what I was doing and just did it, it would have been fine. But I just kind of started, I don't know why, I thought, oh, I'll just sort of ask Copilot, see what I should do at first. And the code was already there in my code base. So then I was just fiddling around, resizing the boxes, and trying to get the kind of the box itself to be a good size on screen so that it's easy to tap. Because previously the boxes were so small that your press might select the wrong box, or it might not select a box at all. So the main thing is, the key was making the input boxes more easy to click. So I'm going to have to just check it on device here. I mean, the boxes are much bigger, but they're too big now. It's almost like I want the box to be this size, but I want the text to be smaller. So then with a little bit of just experimentation, changing parameters, and then looking at the headers, the flags, and the extra functionality in the ImGui input text EX function, I discovered that there's a lot more that's going to be able to make the UI bigger, more readable, and no need for the labels at the side or any additional custom rendering that I was thinking I was going to have to do. Label hint. Ooh, hint. This is all we need, I think. So I've just set the width of the text box to be the same width as the window. It might be a bit too much. It needs a little bit of padding or yeah, something like that. But it looks better, and also it's got the little hint things. So, you know, let's see, we'll connect, and then this just baffling screen. So that one felt much better. The problem is that I actually think that what I want to do is make the boxes bigger and the font smaller. So, and then basically I need to subtract this amount off the width of it. I spent the rest of the time just fiddling around with the sizes, scales, font sizes, doing a bit of maths to get things to appear in the right place, but I didn't manage to make as much progress as I wanted, considering that I spent a good hour going on a tangent, adding that additional font and font ranges support that I didn't really need to do. So I just wrapped it up for the day here, and then I came back the next day fresh and continued on tackling it. Right, I am back, and hopefully today I can get this finished. What I realised after thinking about it, what I don't really need is, and after experimenting, and I suppose that's kind of part of the process, is I don't actually need to make the font bigger. I just need the text box to be bigger. And I can do that by setting the text box size, and then I can sort out the positioning of the text by using padding. So that's what I just need to adjust now, and then this is working again, or it is almost working. Let's get it on the iPhone mirroring screen. Here we go. Well, it says it needs to be unlocked. If it's mirrored, oh no, private messages. Don't worry, it's only we need a lemon for tea for the cabbage, so it's nothing too personal. And is diig? Is this it? I mean, was it opening? Oh, message from debugger has killed it. Right. Let's see. Build succeeded. We've got iPhone mirroring on. And yeah, I was just playing around with it this morning, actually, before work. And this is feeling much better. It's still got this horrible latency. It doesn't happen in the app. But this is almost there, I think, in terms of something I would like to use, because it comes up with on-screen keyboard. The back button is too small. And the positioning of these is slightly off, so I just need to work out the sizes. So the cell padding at the moment, which is here, I'm just passing in a hard-coded 30. Really, that should be based on the height of the box or the height of the text, and then based on that we can then it'll be consistent, because the UI scales for different devices. I mean, I've not tested it on loads, but I've tested it on iPhone 7, which is my all-time champ of a phone. It's still a good device, and if you can get something running on iPhone 7, then it'll just run smoothly on anything else. I'm still on iPhone 11 as my main device, but I'm on the Pro Max screen, so it's much bigger. And between those two sizes, I feel like I've kind of got the range of the display size covered. When we get into doing Android, there's always so many devices in Android, and I think Android should be on the horizon. Quite a few people have asked me about it, so that's really, I don't know, good. And I already have a load of Android code, but anyway, I'm waffling on. I think that I do want to reinstate the user. I'm going to just keep the username there because it is useful to have a username for the UI, and if there's ever going to be comments or other stuff, then a username will probably be better than just putting people's emails. So, and then the final thing is, so the padding 30 at the moment looked kind of just about right. Based on the height of the text, we want to pad the text box size is 3, and the text size body is 1. I don't think I'm using text size input anymore. That was from a bygone attempt. Right, I'm not using that. So that is 3 times the size of the text, and we get the box height based on this thing. But I want to get that same size on just the text size body. Text height. So we've got text height and we've got box height, and then essentially we just want to pad the remainder. Let's see if we can do something like this. So box height minus text height, and then maybe divided it by 2. That might give something reasonable. I don't know if I need to pass this. I'll just do it like this. And I'm not sure which ones of these I actually need. I believe that one of them, I need to figure it out. Okay, so the changes that I've put in now should adjust the padding. I'm hoping to see that the hint and the text is in the middle of the text box, that we have nice big text box that you can click on, and bigger buttons to go back or to sign up. Then I need to apply the same scaling logic into the login menu, and that's the only one I have, I think. Sign up. Oh, username has username doesn't have the hint, but this looks pretty good. That looks like quite nice and centered. So the maths, should I say, because I am English. The maths works out, but we need to just do this kind of same old junk. And I am a copy and paster. Okay, so we've got username, we've got email, we've got password, and we've got retype. That needs a test. Let's see what we can do to refactor this code. So we need a box width and a box height. And we also need to push padding. So then here's the other menu, forgot password. For example, I can see there. So login menu is going to want to do similar logic, and And I think if I make a function which is going to give me, this is where I really wish C++, well, I know C++ does have tuples, but I've not used them because they're not like a core language feature. But really what I want is a function. It can give, well, I could put them as references, but I want to get padding. I want to get padding. I want to get box width and box height. And that's it really, actually. So we just want to move this logic into a function, because then I can use it again. Yeah, that'll simplify this actually. So we can get out an invec2, which is box size, and we can get out a padding. And essentially it's just based on some text scaling. Okay, that's solved my, right, this should compile now. Let's get the old iPhone mirroring up. Well, I wonder if you can zoom this. I haven't really used it before that much. Sign up, that looks lovely. I'll just do a quick test. Okay, and if I try and sign up, invalid email, that's fine. Okay, so that is okay, cool, flow working nicely. Right, so the same basically now we've just got to do for the login menu. And yeah, that was all I needed. So I only need frame padding. Okay, so username, what do we have? Username, email and password, or username and password. Then it was just really a case of updating the other pages. So in addition to the sign up page, there's login and there's forgot password, and they have the same kind of text boxes. So I just need to make sure all those changes are propagated through and tested on all of the different screens, which just, you know, is just kind of a bit of copy and pasting, reusing the function that I made, and just testing it to make sure it all works. Okay, that's a bit bigger. Might conflict with the back button though. Email or password. Invalid email. Okay, I'll test that later. But I think that I'm pretty happy with this. Sign up, log in. Ooh, when I log in, if I go back, it should. Ah, interesting. When we click back, the back button should probably clear the buffers, I think. Just while I'm here in terms of usability. So we've got email buff and password buff, an error message. If we hit back, and then what are these? These are login buff size. So got basically just mem set the buffers back to 0. for simplicity and for clarity, hit the back button. We expect those email buff, retype buff, and we also have username. It's called username buff, yep. Clear the error message, and then finally I do the same in the forgotten password. Forgotten password menu on back, we clear the email buff and the error message. Okay, that emptied that. That emptied that. Just make sure that they're all getting cleared. Okay. That's decent. Okay, that is very decent.